It's usually in chat.
Might have found.
Right. Well, it is a mid-morning on a fine sunny day in the city of Daggerford. As it is early spring, there is a pleasant warmth to the sun and the smell of fresh flowers and blossoms in the air. Some of you have been in Daggerford for some time. Others maybe a few days. Others again may have just arrived. So we'll start with two people who have probably been here the longest, and that would be Kane and Bula. Now, on this morning, or any morning perhaps in Daggerford, what is your normal routine in the morning? What do you do first thing?
Well, I head down into the tavern and have a general mill about of the people that are coming.
Okay. So early morning in the tavern is probably going to be fairly quiet. You'll know Maggie, the barmaid there, and she'll welcome you in. And she'll probably ask you if Master Kane is with you this morning.
I could roll a d20 and we could say odds I am and evens I'm not.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you can turn your volume up a little bit, Trapdoor, because I can just about hear you.
I can bring the mic a little closer.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So I rolled evens, so I'm not there today.
You're not there today. Okay, perfect.
That
And
helps.
excellent. I say, so Bulla, you usually come down in the morning and you come to the down to the bar to see how everyone is and start the day. What is your normal morning routine, Kane?
I think the first thing that he'd do is get up and pray. Probably a little boring, but that's how his day starts.
Okay, no worries. Perfect. And so then we come to Gelity. What have you been doing as a regular routine, if you have a regular routine, since you've been in Daggerford?
I don't think I have one.
You don't have one?
A regular routine?
Okay, so what are you going to do this morning? You've been in town for a while. What would you be doing of a morning? Just today. What do you think you'd be up to?
I think I'm gonna explore more shops. See if I can find any more little bookshops and stuff. Although I do have a favorite.
Okay, no worries. And Moira and I've forgotten your name. Sorry, I've forgotten already what the character's name is. Typhon?
Tisvan.
Tisvan, that's one. Sorry, Tisvan. What are you two doing? You're currently sharing a room, aren't you? What would you be doing on your next morning after our discussion we had earlier on?
I'd say Tisvan would start his morning like he always does, with a small prayer, and then go down to the bar or the pub and have some breakfast, I'd say.
Okay, and Moira?
Sorry, brain went blank. Depending on how late or how early Tisvan wakes up, I would do. In the case that I wake up earlier, I would kind of check the wounds, see how they're doing. Everything looks okay, so I don't have to fuzz over him as much, but most likely will anyway. And go and finally go with him down to have breakfast.
Perfect. Okay. So when the two of you come down to have breakfast in the morning, you'll be greeted by the barmaid and given a place to sit and order some food as well. You probably notice there's fairly empty in the mornings because of just generally, people are either in their bedrooms still if they're not getting up early for any work or anything, or they'll be just busier towards the evening. Luna, if you could just mute yourself when you're not talking, if that's all right, because we're getting a bit of feedback. That'd
Yeah,
be great.
no, sorry. I am trying to figure it out. I was just typing in chat. How do I turn it on? Because I don't know how.
Oh, just mute yourself for the moment if you can't figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
I'll
Oh,
write in the
yeah.
chat and tell you how.
Perfect. Yeah, and so you might notice, yeah, it's fairly quiet. There is generally sort of like some of the staff there, but other than that, you'll probably notice there is one other resident who sort of frequents the bar. You might have noticed over the last day or so, which is a female half-orc who seems to know the staff there quite well. So, Amaros, what are you doing this morning? What has been becoming your routine, or at least what do you do on a fresh morning? You may be muted.
Yeah, I was muted. It was just that the button I pressed down suddenly started rewriting my whole freaking backstory because I was looking at it to correct things.
Right.
But yes, Amara's morning tends to start a little slow, relaxing with a cup of tea with the person he got to. He spent the. How do I put it? He spent the passing days at the house of a newfound friend by the name of Siora. And he has been helping a little throughout the house, spending a little time with some of her chores, helping the children throughout the town. And yeah, just tend to do that as a routine, checking out so everything is alright. And returning to the house just for a lovely cup of tea along with the breakfast.
Lovely.
Just gentle days in the starts.
Perfect.
Because chaos always comes after.
Perfect. Well, all of you going about your business this morning probably don't notice anything particularly different first thing. Perhaps, Amaros, if you've gone out in the morning to get some breakfast or something, or if you've gone out to speak to anyone and then come back before breakfast, as you said, that you might have noticed that the streets today appear much emptier than normal. The children that you have got to know that usually run up and down the fairway are oddly missing this morning. And only a few people can be seen sort of milling about in the town themselves. Many of the stores that you would normally be open at this time are closed. And Galati, as you've been going around and having a little look, you've realised that a lot of the shops that you might have gone, I'll pop in there tomorrow, actually appear to be closed, which is odd because it's a normal working day as far as you know. And there's a sense sort of that something unusual is happening in town at the moment.
I'm mysterious.
And there are a few people say they seem to be either heading off towards the main market area, or there are a few people that you see who are currently sort of closing up shops that they, or at least tidying them up before they head off somewhere this morning. Kane, for you, you come in down into or from your room into the main chapel area, and you might see Libra just sort of organising things in the morning. I think probably you and Bula may know what the day is today, but perhaps you it still feels a little bit odd that there's less people around. You'd expect at least a few people coming into the temple this morning, but there's oddly, like, yes, a quietness around you.
Okay.
How does the tavern feel compared to the previous day?
So so the previous evening that you were in there, everything was very busy and people in there. There was quite a lot of music and entertainment and people sort of having fun in the evening, as with many bars. And you haven't been here really long enough to kind of sort of see if this is normal or not, kind of inside the tavern. But there certainly isn't very many people here first thing in the morning. There was somebody you saw leaving earlier on in the day before, coming from one of the rooms upstairs. But other than a couple of people in the bar at the moment, maybe a couple of people who have stayed over as well, having breakfast, there isn't really much. And say it's only a mid-sized sort of tavern, so you can probably see out the window from where you're sitting as well. You might get the better light there having your breakfast. And again, you just notice that there doesn't seem to be many people around this morning. Seems odd for the amount of people that you saw when you first got here, because of course this is a very popular place, lots of markets going on, lots of traders. But today, yeah, just seems quite quiet.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Seems a bit quiet this morning, don't you think?
Yeah, oddly so. I've never seen the town so empty.
I wonder if it has to do with the thing.
The thing?
Oh yeah, so yesterday while you were resting, I went to the Temple of Lathander, and they told me that we were approaching a very important day for the town. A big anniversary.
Interesting. My friend didn't mention that, though. That is rather... It's not very weird, though, with the news I brought them, so...
But again, that could just be me overthinking things, It might be completely different things. No one knows.
And as you're having this conversation, this barmaid comes over to your table and says, "Oh, hello, good morning. Can I get you anything this morning for breakfast?"
I'll just have what's most easily served, please.
All right, a bit of bacon and eggs this morning for both of you. Not any vegetarians here?
Would you happen to have any waffles?
Waffles? I could probably make some up. Yes, doesn't seem to be too difficult to me to do that. Could do that very certainly. Would you like any special jams or any sugary things on top of that? Or are you going to have it just plain?
Plain is fine, thank you.
Plain? Okay. Well, I'll come back and I'll get that for you. I'll cheer you. You'll probably want to be off very soon to celebrate with everybody else. And she'll start making her way back towards the kitchen.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh, yes?
Celebrate. Haven't been around here during this time of year before. What's the celebration about?
Oh, it's nothing really, but it's a bit of a special one this year. You see, we have a thing called the Feywild Festival that happens every year, and it's generally just a thing that we celebrate individually, families and friends and things like that. But I've been hearing that Duchess Morwen has got a big plans for this year. It's some special sort of a centennium thing, and everyone's heading out towards the centre of town at the moment. But I presume you'll be welcome to go along. I know mostly the residents will go to it, but I'm sure if you're interested, they wouldn't mind you going along as well.
Thank you very much for the information. I appreciate it.
No, it's all right. I'll just get your breakfast for you. And she'll just shuffle off back into the kitchen. And she'll just
what is
nod to Beulah as she goes past. All right, Beulah.
Once she has left, I'm gonna say to this one,
Yes, that was the thing.
Okay, that thing. Want to go and check it out after breakfast?
Oh yeah. Sounds. I mean, my curiosity is piqued. The amount of people sounds terrifying, but the curiosity is winning.
Worst case, you can sit on my shoulders so you don't get lost in the crowds.
Please.
And Kane, when you come into the main part of the temple, Libra will be aware of you coming in, and they'll turn and they'll say, "Good morning, Kane. Did you sleep well today? Any more bad dreams?"
Well, luckily not. It was actually quite a peaceful sleep tonight, unlike the last couple of days.
Very good. It's good to know that this is settling down for you. Possibly you're becoming more connected to your clerical job now. You're becoming more settled here now that you have been here. Of course, it has been some time, but these things take time to learn the ways of our god. But as you can see, this morning is very quiet here, and if you wanted to go off and enjoy the day, I'm sure the other brothers and I can manage things. I know Beulah would probably be interested in going to the fair with you today. How is she, by the way? She hasn't come round this morning.
Well, he's probably busy in the tavern if there's a lot of people there.
Yes, it is very, very helpful. It's very nice to see her, and yes, well, if you can be any help, then let me know. Otherwise, I'm sure the people would like your presence. It might actually be quite fortuitous for you to go and see the other town members this morning, and to keep the balance. Perhaps we should keep our ear to the ground and make sure everyone is being safe on this day.
Yes, of course. With your grace, I would definitely like to go and see her and make sure that the townsfolk are safe.
Of course. Oh, very good. And you will know that from being here, this is an annual event, this festival. And it's just normally just something that, say, the people attend or with families or loved ones and things, just to enjoy as a sort of a spring festival. But as it's probably been mentioned by various town criers and things as well, this year is a little bit special. And in fact, you and Beulah, being residents for as long as you have, probably have got a bit more information about this than perhaps anybody else who's new to town, and that there is going to be some sort of ceremony this morning just outside Daggerford, where Duchess Morwen will be speaking to the people. So, Galaty, what are you doing? I've mentioned that, some of the towns shops and things are actually closed at the moment, and there's a lot less people generally.
Well, since I got here, there's already been bunting up and flags and
Exactly, yes.
and I sort of took it as a usual town thing for this town, but I think I've just put it together that there might actually be something happening, and I'll just start following people to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so when you come out, you notice that there's various shops and things that are now closed, but there are people in dribs and drabs. It seems like people got up a little bit earlier and started heading out towards the main gates. But there's plenty of people, and you can sort of follow them on. And you see there are plenty of children sort of with their families and things, and they all seem to be happy and laughing and just heading towards the gate. Many of them are sort of carrying, many of the children carrying these sort of brightly coloured sticks with bells, and they're sort of jingling around. So there's lots of like jingling bells currently filling the air, which you're probably thinking that's going to get annoying by the end of the, in the next hour, probably not by the end of the day, but that's going to be a lot of that, I expect. And you can just sort of start following them out there. Beulah, after you've had your breakfast, would you normally meet up with Kane?
It kind of depends, because obviously Kane normally has the temple stuff to do, so she would normally sit around and, linger around the bar area where, I've already forgot her name.
Maggie?
Yeah. And, unless Kane comes to her, she just tends to sit around there, or if townfolk come to her, then she'll, interact with them, but otherwise she tends to actually keep very much to herself.
I think the Maggie will certainly have a conversation with you as most mornings, and you're probably quite aware of the comings and goings of new faces and people staying over generally sort of in the tavern. And this morning you see rather an odd coupling, actually. There's a Shadowkai, quite tall Shadowkai, sitting with a tiny little mouse person at one of the tables near the windows, which you haven't maybe noticed them last night with all the crowds of other people, but this morning sitting alone in a booth together seems kind of an odd pairing. But you've got two people there who are obviously new to town.
She's happy one to talk with her own odd pairing.
Yeah. But as well as explained with Kane, you will know more about today as well, because the annual event of the Feyring Festival is something that comes along generally every year, and for you it's something that you may or may not have partaken on, but knowing that you're quite popular with the local people, it's probably something that you've at least found out more about or know about, having chatted with a few people in town.
Oh yeah, it's something she's definitely attended. She likes watching everyone do their thing. Like I said, without Kane, she doesn't really do much unless someone else asks her to do something.
Right.
But she does always... She mills about, so she'll have watched this a fair few times.
Perfect. So yeah, Amoros, this morning looks a bit different than other days. What is your first thought about what you do?
See, always been a little bit of a curious sort, and seeing that there are still some people around, he's gonna walk up to one of them and go, "Excuse me, there's an unusual, how do I put it, lack of people around? Is there something special going on?"
Yeah, and there'd just be it's a guy who's maybe moving some of the bags of flour and stuff from the back of the bakery at the moment, and he's just putting it together, trying to tidy things up and close up just so he can get away. He's probably open first thing in the morning just to get the initial sales of the day, but he knows that the rest of the day he'll be quite quiet. And as you approach him, he'll just turn around and say, "Oh, hi, good morning. Yes, it is a bit quieter this morning, isn't it? It's one of those festivals again, I believe. The Feyring Festival. You're not from around here, I guess."
No, I arrived just a few days ago.
Oh well, you probably be more than welcome to join it if you're looking that way as well. But I believe that this year's a little bit special, though. It's kind of a anniversary of sorts, I believe. I'm actually heading there myself as well. If you want to come with me, I'm just tidying up a few things here.
Sure, I'd love to. Do you happen to have any spare buns? Always happy to have an extra bun for breakfast.
Spare buns? Oh, I'm sure I could whip you one up. They're just a copper piece each.
Sure, I'll take 3.
3? Okay, no worries. And he'll go up into these into the bakery, and he'll kind of grab a few, package them up for you, and come out with them. Oh, just 3 copper pieces then, please, sir.
Then here you are, and he's a little bit of a showman and just whips his hand out, and the 3 copper pieces are between his fingers as he presents them into his hand.
And he'll say, "Oh, very colourful, very very clever of you to do that. That's most." And he'll take them from your hand. Oh, most enjoyable. You'll be part of the festival yourself. But I've just got to finish doing these bags. If you want to go on ahead, that's fine. I've just got to get the rest of these bags of flour out the back, and then I'll be shutting up and going ahead. But if you head towards the main gate, that's where it's all happening, I believe.
I appreciate your guidance, and I do hope that we all get to have an enjoyable time.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Nice to have met you.
And he's gonna head on in the direction guided.
Cool. And as you see, the same as Galaxy, as you're going that way, you see quite a few people, families and things all heading towards that way. So there's a whole sort of like a flow to the town for those last few people who are there. And as you start to get towards the main gates, you'll notice that there's a large crowd of townsfolk. It looks like pretty much most of the town is already here. And they're all sort of gathering just outside the main gates, waiting for something to happen, it looks like. So, Kane, I would assume after you've been let go of your service in the morning that you would probably head to get Bula?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you know that pub she frequents. You've been there many times yourself.
Yeah, I would. I'd walk straight through the doors, but I wouldn't say hello to her until I was at the table. He doesn't want to disturb the other tavern goers.
Okay.
And then I would pull up a seat, and Kane would say, it's good to see you again, Bula. How have you been?
Kane, you're here. I wasn't expecting to see you today.
No, well, Libra, he let me off early from my duties, seeing as the day that it was. Figured I'd come straight here.
That's fantastic news. What would you like to do?
Well, she still wants me to keep an eye on all of the townsfolk around here, but that won't stop us from maybe having a look around and enjoying the event.
If that's what you want, let's do it. I'll go when you're ready.
Alright, well, maybe a little breakfast first, and then we could head out.
I already ate. I'll just watch you.
Alright, no problem. I'll just have an apple or something, and then we can get going.
You need to eat more than that.
No, I ate plenty yesterday. Just a little snack will do.
Oh, fine.
And yeah, Maggie will come out from just going back with some force in the kitchen and dropping off some food with a couple of the other patrons, and she'll come over to you as well, Kane. And she'll say, "Oh, hello there, Kane. Are you stopping in for breakfast this morning? What can I get you? Just something simple, or do you want something cooked?"
No, it's my vegetarian today. I had meat yesterday, so
Oh, that's right. You like to flip flop, don't you? Over both days, but one day meat, one day veggie. I forgot about that. That's right.
It keeps the balance in the name of Argental.
Oh yes, the name of our bargain thingy. Yes, definitely balance. So what can I get you this morning then?
Just a ripe apple will do.
A ripe apple? Oh, I could certainly fetch you one of those. No problem at all. And Bula, are you all right? Are you sorted now? Have you had enough food for this morning?
I'm fine. I just want to watch him.
Just want to watch him. Well, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that at all. Right, let me just go and get your apple. And she'll head out the back and grab you an apple, a shiny one, something that looks like a like fairly big size, because she knows an apple's not very much to fill a growing man. So she'll try and get the biggest one that she can find from the pile, and then bring that out to you and put it on like a little napkin for you. There you go. No, you eat that up nice and quick, and then are you both going to head off to the fair today, the festival?
Yes, absolutely. Well, Libra almost insisted on it, but I'm happy to go and maybe see what the festival's all about. I'd been working every day when the other ones had happened.
Oh yes, well, of course it's a bit more special this year, isn't it? That's probably why you haven't been involved in the ones previously. It's usually just families and things, but I've always thought the two of you make a very nice couple, so you're probably best suited to going together. That's what I've always said.
I think when he hears that, Kane will very loudly clear his throat, maybe choking on a little bit of apple.
Oh, are you all right there? And he gives you a good slap on the back.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Well, we'll definitely be going together.
Oh, I thought as much. And then just gives Boogler a wink.
I couldn't say no when he said he wanted to. I don't care the reasoning. I just want to go because he's going.
Of course. Well, you two have a great time, and if you see any stragglers along the way, you take them with you, because it's bound to be a very nice time. I'm here until about lunchtime, but I'll be coming and have a nice time at the whatever it is that the Duchess has organised. But I've got a few things to do this morning before I head off.
All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for the apple. Put it on my tab, and I'll pay it off tonight.
Oh, of course. I know you're good for it. And she'll give you a little wave as she heads out back in the back of the kitchen. So Moira and Sivan, Jesus Christ, God. I knew I was going to have trouble with his name. Tisvan. Tisvan? Tisvan. Okay. You two had your breakfast. What are you planning to do with the rest of your day?
Well, going into town and following the stream, see what it's all about.
Okay, so you're heading the same way, and Kane and Beulah, I assume you'll probably be doing the same thing at some point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll progress to that point where you've all eventually got to the main gates. I think at this point, because it sounds like you're all going to be heading that way as well. So, outside the main gates, when you will eventually get there, the crowd that has formed now seems to be pretty much the majority of Daggerford at this point. And as you've been going through, you've all been noticing to say that the normal shops that are usually open at this point are now closed. And for those of you that have been there before, you know that the Feyring Festival is generally a sort of a smaller event. It's kind of like people still go to work and they carry on as they are, but perhaps in the evening, or if they've got a break at lunchtime, they'll sort of head out into the fields and stuff, and they'll kind of have a relax under the new blooms and maybe have a picnic or something, and just spend time together with families and things like that. However, on this occasion, this is why it seems very weird, because there aren't people in the shops anymore. There aren't people hanging around and children, going to school and other things as they would normally do. They all seem to be congregated out the front. And then you get there. It just happens to be at that right time that things are starting to progress. And so atop a small wooden platform, the other side of this large crowd that has been collected, decorated with spring flowers and mushrooms in the field just outside of Daggerford, there is, you see atop of the stand, Duchess Morwen. And for those of you who haven't seen Duchess Morwen before, she is a human. She's in her sort of late 40s. She's got very elegant features, long red hair that kind of ends in ringlets at her shoulders. And she wears sort of a modest yet sort of intricately made long dress in green and gold, with sort of short puff sleeves, and she is currently wearing a more of a sort of a decorative belt with a dagger at her hip. And she, for those of you in the know, she lives in the castle that's in the center of town, and she is a very noble woman. She's always striving for sort of the growth and the reputation of the city, and she's very well liked within the town itself. And she's standing in the middle of this platform. Behind her, fluttering gently in the breeze, there is a sort of an orange ribbon tied to either side of the platform. And a little way behind her, you can just make out from you're at the back of this crowd, you can just make out that there seems to be many sort of colourful tents and flags and banners, and a gentle, very soft music that can be heard on the wind. And as you all sort of gather there together in your various groups, you'll see that Duchess Morwen sort of taps a stick on a platform to get everyone's attention, and everyone sort of quietens down and they all look towards her. And then she begins to speak. Dear residents of Daggerford, respect to traders, travellers, and honoured guests. I, Lady Daggerford, wish to welcome you all here today to join me in celebrating the 800th Feyring Festival. For those of you who are new to Daggerford, this festival commemorates the ill-fated love between a mortal and a Fey, who were kept forever apart, and it reminds us that love can never truly be lost or forgotten. Neither time nor distance can break that bond, as long as it is kept alive in our hearts. As it is a special anniversary this year, I have managed to enlist the talents of this wondrous travelling carnival that you see behind me. And she gestures behind her to all the tents and things in the distance. And I hope that you and all your children will enjoy the attractions whilst we continue our search for the entrance of the fairy kingdom. And at this point, she holds up this brightly coloured stick that has jingling bells on the end of it, and she sort of waves it and jingles it to the laughter of the other children, who reciprocate with all their own sticks, jingling it back at her. And so, without further ado, I declare this year's Feyring Festival open. And the Lady Daggerford takes her fine dagger from her belt and cuts the ribbon, the orange ribbon, ceremony ribbon, behind her, to cheers and claps from the crowd. And as they all start to move towards the tents or the carnival that's sort of in the distance, all the children run off in different directions, waving their sticks, and the air is just filled with this jingling noise as they all go about their business.
At some point during that speech, Moira would have kind of attempting to jump around, trying to see things, and then finally, with a huff, just
Tisvan, on your shoulders, please.
Tisvan wouldn't say a word, just crouch down, allow Moira to clamber up, and then stand straight up again.
Perfect. So yeah, you would have seen this quite clearly. From your vantage point previously, you probably only heard it, but if you're on the shoulder, then you'll probably you'll see everything going on. And yeah, the crowd starts heading towards these tents in the distance. So what are you guys going to do?
Tisvan would, whilst moving towards the carnival, look around, see if he could see either Iderneth or Eddie in the crowd.
All right, let's give me a perception check.
That is a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you have a quick look around. Unfortunately, there's so many people currently moving because this is like the majority of the town are here at the moment. There are additional traders and other people who aren't maybe residents of the town, but there's a lot of people here. And at the moment, there's too many people around. You can't quite make out anyone that you know at the moment.
All right.
But you and I presume Moira's going to sit on your shoulder and carry on moving towards the tents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Galati, what are you doing?
Can I have a look for Eddie?
You can, yeah. Give me a perception check.
It says game paused for me. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me just unpause it for you. Yep, you can roll now.
Um, sorry, bear with me.
Yep, no worries. Have you got it? You just
All my buttons are gone.
Oh, have you got none of the buttons in the public role area on chat?
I do, but I don't have checks or.
If you're going to do a perception check, if you click, oh no, you don't have your access to your character at the moment. Let 1 second. Let me see what you
I'll
need.
just roll a d20.
What you can do is you can do a d20 and then you can add numbers to it. So if you click the d20 button and then add a plus to it, you can then say what you're adding. So if you look at your D&D sheet in D&D Beyond or something, you can just add it manually. Or you can just run it in D&D Beyond if you like, whichever's easier.
Yeah, I keep getting little notes popping up from Discord, popping over the bit where I write, so I can't see what I'm writing and I can't turn it off.
Whoops.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Oh no, write again. One more time, so I can turn it off. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Oh dear.
I think I might be distracted.
Yeah, unfortunately, you looking around, but there are so many people around you, and again, because you're sort of looking but not one trying to see, to show yourself looking maybe a lot to bring attention to yourself, then you kind of don't really see anyone at this point. I say there's so many people here at the moment. They might be here in the crowd somewhere, but currently you can't. Until it sort of dissipates a little bit, it's going to be a bit difficult to see individual people. But are you going to head towards that where everyone else is going, or are you going to head somewhere else?
Oh no, I'm gonna go and have a look. I'm curious.
Okay. Right, Bula and Kane, what are you doing? Are you going to follow suit, or are you going to be doing something else?
I imagine we'll probably follow suit. Head sort of towards where everyone else is going.
Okay.
Kane is sort of very new to this. This is the first one that he's actually attended since he's been in Daggerford. He's had to tend the temple every day that this event has happened, so he's still sort of figuring out his footing and what he actually needs to do during this event.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this is not normal for the event. The normal event would be like families and stuff doing their own things. It's not like an organized thing. This is the first time it's actually been a proper like event where something's going on. So I think Libra would have sent you here to keep an eye on things, because this isn't generally how it happens. Because of this being 800 years anniversary, that's why there is this event going on.
I suppose he would turn to Bula and say, "This is nothing like they told me it was going to be. I thought that it was far more personal than this. Just families having their own celebrations. This seems like a whole event."
Yeah, no, this is wrong. This isn't how they normally do it.
All right. Well, Libra wants me to keep an eye on things here, so I suppose the best way to do that would be to get in with the crowd and kind of figure out what's happening.
So you want us to keep an eye on things?
Yes, I suppose so.
Are we going together?
Oh, well, I might need your help.
Then I'm in.
Cool.
All right.
And Amaros, What are your plans?
I mean, Ambrose has a little bit of the attitude of leisurely strolling throughout the crowd, just enjoying the festivity spirit, so to say.
Yeah.
But he's also keeping an eye out to see if he recognizes anyone in the crowd. And
Okay.
now I think about it, he only knows 3 people in the whole town.
Well, let's see. Let's give me a perception check and see if you see any of the people that you've made contacts with there.
17 plus 1, 18.
18. That's pretty good. So I'm going to say, yeah. Initially, you kind of look around, and there's lots of people milling about and kind of heading slowly in a direction because obviously this big crowd has formed and it's a bit slow moving at the back where you guys at the moment. But because she's perched on top of Tisvan's shoulder, you catch a sight of these big mouse ears flapping in the wind, and you can see Moira. Was it Moira? No. Yeah, Moira sitting atop of Tisvan's shoulder, just a few people away.
I like to try to sneak up to them without them noticing me.
Okay. So give me a stealth check if you would.
That is a nat 20.
Well, okay, Tisvan, I think. What's your passive? Your passive perception? About 12, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I would say that because of the crowd and you focus on what you're doing and holding on to Moira, you're probably not because you were looking out for somebody else currently, so you're probably not aware of other people sneaking up with you. And with a natural 20, I think yes, you can get right up to Tisvan before either or he or Moira notice that you're there.
All right. As Emerald sneaks up, he's gonna come up so he taps Moira on the left shoulder. Or wait, which shoulder is she sitting on?
I was kind of imagining like a kid, like
yeah,
just
that makes more sense.
Feet over the shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that works too. I keep forgetting. I keep seeing her in my head as just this mouse instead of someone that's actually human child-sized. I need to get that out of my head. But he sneaks up and taps her with the tail on her left shoulder while sneaking up to stand on Tisvan's right side. Yes, it's the classic move.
I immediately tense up, kind of, since Tisvan does not have hair, gripping his scalp and just looking to the left like, what was that? What was that? What?
Good morning.
Oh, it's you. What was your name? I'd say Amaros, right?
Hey, you remembered me. Thank you. How are you two doing today?
I'm all right. Circumstances allowing.
Yeah, I wasn't really prepared for this festivity, to be honest. But I'm always happy with some joyous occasions, right?
Just scared the bejesus out of me.
Sorry, it was hard to resist.
Okay, so you guys meet up with each other, and I think that's everyone, isn't it, that I've mentioned? So you all continue heading towards this area, and it isn't long before you come towards what carnival has been presented for the Feyring Festival.
Oh, something's happening.
I'll just wait for everyone to load in.
Blackguard.
Ah, why is it stuck at 98%? Oh, there it is.
I got one last person. Yeah.
Yay! I see things.
We're just waiting
Are
for
those
Kane.
giant beetles?
No worries, yours will take a while, is it? Yeah, it's delayed for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it's taking so long, but we'll wait for you to pop into the map, and then we'll go from there.
For me, it popped in as soon as I zoomed out, so maybe try that.
It seems like I'm perpetually stuck on 97.
Oh, okay. You might need to log. Oh, there you go. You're across.
Yay!
Hey, okay. Everyone can see the new map.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So,
Sorry, depending on what we're supposed to see.
yep.
Because for me, it's like split in half. Upper half is black with bubbles. A lower half is like the mustard green.
Oh, you can't see the map?
I don't know.
You would know.
Doesn't sound like you can see it then.
Yeah, you might maybe log out and log back in again.
Okay, I had to do some switcheroo. But it's like still like
If you go to the cog,
black with bubbles.
yeah, if you go to the cogs at the right hand side on the right hand interface, there's little cogs at the far right. You'll have the option to log out and then log back in again. If you click on log out and then just log back in and see if that refreshes it for you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No worries.
It
Yeah,
wouldn't be anything Fey related without there being a technical.
exactly. Yeah, there'd have to be something going on. If you log out and then log back in again and see if it reloads for you. And then let us know when you're back. It did seem to take quite a long time for you guys to all be brought over, so I'm not quite sure what was slowing us down then, whether it was the sound or whether it's the image. But hopefully it'll load up for you in a second. Any luck, Money?
Still black with bubbles.
And you've logged out and logged back in again?
Yeah.
Can you refresh the browser? Can everybody else see the map?
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
All good on my
Yep.
end.
Would it have something? Because like I have this. I don't know what this is called. Basically, it says your web browser does not have hardware acceleration enabled. This will severely impair the performance of Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Be
That's-
sure to enable hardware acceleration in your browser settings.
Yes, that's probably going to have an effect. What browser are you currently using?
Chrome.
You are using Chrome at the moment, are you? Okay. Then we need to turn on hardware acceleration for you then.
I'm sorry.
Let's have a quick look. Okay, open Chrome, click on the horizontal ellipses menu button on the top right corner and click on Settings. under system. Oh yeah, click on system. It says, and then under the system section, turn off or on the use hardware acceleration when available.
Hold on, because mine is in Finnish.
Oh yes, sorry. I don't know the Finnish,
Hold
so
on.
I can
Wait,
only tell you what it says in
sorry.
English.
Oh, wait. Because I have basically like 3 different options. The first, there's like leave background stuff open when Google Chrome is closed.
The second one is use hardware acceleration when available. So it's the second one you need to toggle on.
It should be on.
Okay. Then you should have it on. So you may need to relaunch your browser then. Because if that's all it says that it needs to be on to be able to do it. If you can't get it working, do you have another browser that you could look at it in? It's odd that the previous pages work, but this one doesn't. I'm not quite sure why, but I can only think to either use a different browser or refresh the one you've currently got, or like close it down and open it again.
I'll close and try to open again.
Okay. Do you don't have another browser?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Just let us know when you've got it loaded up again, and if you are able to see anything. Otherwise, I might have to ask someone to open their view so that you can see what's going on.
If it doesn't work, I can screen share my
Yeah,
view.
if that's all right. Yeah, if it's not working, then at least you'll be able to see what's going on.
I get such a Diablo 1 vibe from this music.
Yes.
I can give you the NPC descriptions again, Veladomi, if you like.
I would like that. In
Yeah.
text, if possible, because I can't focus enough to write it all down.
Okay, which one is it that you want to know about?
All of them.
All of them?
No,
She's looking for projects.
mostly the fancy lady and the barmaid.
Okay. Right, so Duchess Morwen Daggerford. Well, actually, what I'll do is I'm going to update the NPC list that's in the other in the Discord channel. So I will drop all the information in there, if you like. I'll just drop it in there. I'll drop it in there quickly for now, and then I'll update it properly later on. How you doing, Monty?
Still black.
Still black? Okay, all right. You might have to ask Quack to share the screen then. I'm not quite sure why you can't see the screen, but we'll try and sort it out for the next time we stream.
I cannot stream into this channel.
Oh, can you not? Oh, okay.
And I can do it.
Can you do it? There we go.
There we go.
Okay, let us know, Moni, when
Can
you are
see it,
ready.
Molly?
Moni?
Oh, sorry, forgot the
push to talk.
Cool. Can you see?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let us continue our adventure. Okay. So, as you approach this, these tents, this carnival in the distance, you see a rainbow of beautifully decorated tents and wagons of all sizes lining the lower field. Patterned banners blow gently in the breeze, and beautiful pipe organ music begins to get louder as you approach. Just before the first set of tents, there is a large wooden archway, which you're currently standing in front of, with yellow, orange, and white flowers. And this seems to mark the main entrance to this area. Looking through the archway, you catch a glimpse of the wondrous creatures and performers within. Stilt walkers, acrobats, and dancers all greet the excited crowds as they enter, and cheers and laughter fill the air. As you approach, oh, sorry guys, someone knocking at the door. Give me just a second. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. Right. Well, I'll Bula, you can
excuse.
keep notes for Kane as we carry on at the moment. But as you approach, let's see who do we think would get there first? Who would be the first one to get to this archway? I would say let's go with Galaxy, because you are the only one I think currently walking on your own, so you're probably a bit quicker because the others are kind of together, aren't they? So, Galaxy, as you approach and you start to go underneath this archway, you will suddenly hear, "Greetings, fairgoers!" The voice calls from you from just the other side of the archway. "I trust you are here for a magical, alluring time of celebration."
Yes.
And as you look over, you'll see there's a goblin currently sort of standing in the entrance. This is he's got sort of curly black hair, steely blue eyes behind these sort of gold rimmed spectacles. His skin's a sort of a ruggedy greeny grey kind of colour, less sort of like bright green that you would normally associate with goblins. And he's wearing a brightly patterned jacket and grey trousers, and he holds in his hand this sort of small reel of paper. And as you sort of look him, he looks you up and down at the same time as you're looking at him with a smile, and he says, "How many tickets do you require today?"
Oh, just the one, please.
"Just the one, of course. That would be 8 silver pieces, please."
Yeah, of course. I pay him.
Okay, yep. So you give him 8 silver pieces, and in return, he will give you a ticket. Let me get you your ticket.
Can I edit money on this one?
You can do it in D&D Beyond if you like.
Okay.
Okay, and I have now assigned you a ticket. If you in your journal, you should be able to see the ticket now. And he'll say to you, "Each ticket is good for 6 attractions here within the carnival. Some shows are free, and others will require your ticket to be punched." And as you start sort of heading off, he'll grab you by the wrist or by the jacket and say, "Oh, please don't forget your complimentary fey wings." And he'll hand you a pair of sort of brightly coloured yet cheap-looking fairy wings that have arm loops on either side. And he'll just say, "Make sure you wear these while you're here at the carnival. I'm sure the children would be most happy to see you joining in." And then he turns to the next people in the queue and says, "Have fun."
Thank you.
"You're very welcome. Enjoy your stay here at the carnival."
I'm gonna have a look around and see if anyone else is wearing these wings, or if it's just a thing that.
Yeah, you look around and everybody has a set of these wings, whether they're wearing them or not. The children definitely are. There are some parents, who've got children who obviously are wearing them as well. And there may be some individuals who've chosen, who are here on their own. Maybe they've decided to maybe just sort of carry them in their hand. But it does look like most people are.
If most people are wearing them, I will be wearing them.
Lovely. And you can choose the color of your fairy wings if you like.
Blue?
Blue. Okay, perfect. Did you get your ticket, by the way? Can you see that in the journal? You did.
It's beautiful.
Perfect. Right, who next shall we have? Let's have Bula and Kane. You're the next ones to arrive, as there's two of you. And once again, this goblin will come, see as you go through and say, "Greetings, greetings. How many tickets do you acquire?"
We'll be requiring 2, please.
2 tickets. Now, you think that you will know, as your residents, you actually get to come in for free. You will be given a complimentary ticket each from the Duchess to all residents who are there. So whether you remember or not, you will have those tickets assigned to you. So if you wish, you can enter in for free.
Can I choose to pay for those tickets, please?
Yes, you can indeed. Yes, of course. So he'll say, it's 2 tickets, that's 16 silver pieces, please. Or is it 10 silver pieces to a gold? So 1 gold and 6?
I will just give 2 gold.
2 gold. He said, I shall get your change for you, sir. And he'll start looking at his money belt.
Please.
No change?
I'm always happy to pay a contribution towards the town.
Oh, very, very welcome, sir. Thank you so much indeed. And enjoy your thing. Oh, your tickets allow your 6 rides each or attractions each, and please enjoy your day. It's very, very nice of you. Very kind, sir. Thank you. And he'll give you a little bow. And I will assign you both a ticket as well.
Thank you very much. I'm quite interested in what you have set up here.
Oh, yes, with this marvellous carnival, all thanks to Duchess Morwen. I am just but a humble ticket seller at the front here, but there are many wonderful things inside for you to enjoy. Okay, Bula, you should have a ticket, and Kane, I will just assign you one now. Okay, they're both available to you now in the journal entry if you would like to see them.
All right, thank you.
And once you've got your tickets and stuff, he will sort of turn his attention to the next people in the queue.
Bula wants her wings.
Oh, sorry, yeah. And yeah, he'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. Please," and he'll hand you both a pair of wings, which again you can decide what color you would like them. He said, "Oh, please feel free to wear these during the day. The children do so enjoy everyone having these wings on and be part of the Fey Ring Festival. It's very, very lovely."
Okay, do help me put the wings on. It would be so fantastic.
Are you saying that to the goblin or to Kane?
To Kane.
All right.
Okay. So I guess Kane will, he'll do that, and I suppose what was the color you went for again? Sorry, Luna.
They are green. It matches her complexion.
I guess that Kane will also go for green.
Okay, lovely. A couple of little green fairy wings for you both. And then finally, after probably a little bit further back, so that more people will be coming in, but most people go through the archway quite quickly because they're residents and they've already got tickets. But eventually, Moira, Tesfan, and Amaros, you will all make it to the front. And this goblin, once again, will jump out and say, "Greetings, fairgoers! How many tickets do you require to the show today?"
We'll require 3, please.
Faye remembered my name. Yes. 3 tickets, pray. And is it 2 adults and a child? Is it, or is it 3 adults? I'm very sorry if I'm offensive.
Oh no, it's okay. I am an adult. Yes.
You are? Well, I'm afraid then you'll have to pay full price. So that would be 8 silver pieces each, please.
So what would that be? That's 2 gold, 4 silver?
Yeah, I think so. That's right, is it? Yes.
Yeah, so Tisvan will just hand over the money.
Oh, thank you very so much. It's very kind of you. Each of your tickets are good for 6 attractions here within the carnival. Please make sure to if you have time, to see the main event in the big top later on. There is one show during the day and one in the evening as well. But please don't forget your free fairy wings. Please make sure that you wear them while you're here. Not only does it incite the children, but it is also proof of that you have a valid ticket. And he'll hand you each a pair of fairy wings, which you can decide which color they are as well. The ones that you've got, Moira, are probably quite big on you. They might, if you're walking along, they might drag on the ground a little bit. But for Amoros and Tysfan, you probably have no problem wearing them, if you choose to wear them.
It's fine. Mine are yellow.
Yours are yellow, okay?
This
Mine
one would
are
just-
ice blue, and I do a little pirouette on the spot going, I always wanted that pair of wings.
This one wouldn't really care about the color. He would just grab one and hold them in his hand.
Okay, cool. So you're going to hold them onto them. No worries. All right, and you should now all have a ticket as well. Let me know if anyone is...
I got two. I got mine and Tysfan's, apparently.
Oh, have you? Oh, let me just Bigger ownership. Have you? Oh, yes. Oh, you both had access to it for some reason. I don't know how yours has got selected as well, but you should now have access to each other's, or to the right one.
Yeah, it vanished.
Perfect.
I only have mine.
Has everyone else got one?
Hold on, where is it?
Yes. I have it in journal.
Yeah, in your journal, if you have a look in there. Hopefully everyone has their ticket.
I was adding green fairy wings to my inventory.
All right.
Oh, it's there. I was looking at the wrong place.
Yeah,
I was
just make...
looking at D&D Beyond.
No, sorry, it's in Foundry at the moment. If I have time, I will add them into there as well. But as long as you've all got a ticket, as long as you've all got a ticket, you will be able to go on the rides. Because if you haven't got one, you won't be able to go on any rides. So make sure you have one. Perfect. Right. Well, now that you are all into the area proper. To the middle of the carnival, you see a dizzying array of entertainers and attractions available for you to enjoy. There are stalls selling food and drink, can be seen dotted around between tents and various rides, as well as games of chance and sideshows. Children run around with gifts that they have either won or purchased, and standing high upon wooden stilts in front of you is a fabulously coloured elf who throws down handfuls of sweets to the children as they walk by. But you are now free to explore this carnival as you see fit.
As we start walking, Moira's gonna poke at Tysfan and say,
You didn't have to pay for my ticket. I could have paid for my ticket.
It's all right. I still owe you. So
Ah, it's nothing.
So
Well,
yeah,
you didn't owe me though. So at least let me treat you to something later, all right?
fine, do that, and we'll call it even.
So Gillity, you entered first. So when you come into this area, what would you like to do? Where do you think you would like to go? There are various people who are obviously part of the show. If you want to ask them what's available here, or you can just have a little nosy around and sort of see for yourself.
Galatea doesn't really ask if she can help it. She's just gonna wander about. She would like to have a look for, or they would like to have a look for a fancy dagger, because they spotted that fancy lady and her fancy dagger. Now they want one.
Oh, okay.
And if they can see their dad anywhere.
Yeah, I suppose. Would your dad have been staying with you, or would he have been outside, or where would he have been?
I am not sure. He tends to go off and do his own thing, so he could either be away still doing stuff, or back in town.
Hmm.
That's up to you.
Okay, I'll say that he's probably, if he is here, he might have already entered in with the rest of the group, or he may be doing odd jobs in town, looking for stuff, or perhaps he's gone to the bookshop this morning, or looking around town.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is his kind of thing.
Yeah, perhaps he's not really like sort of into this sort of thing, but he will either be, you'll know how to find him as and when you need him. You probably most of the time travel around yourself and then check in with him as you go through the day anyway. But he's never too far away. But yeah, something like this might be just a little bit too many people, I guess, as well, having been not used to it. So
Yeah. So, can I see any fancy daggers or anything?
Yeah, so if you there is a stall just here as you come to the entrance, and there are various people here. Let me just give my little list here. Okay, so there's a sort of a festival shop here, and it seems that they have various kind of items to sell. They do have a few sort of like bits and pieces. No daggers per se, but you do see that they have some of the it's more sort of fairground stuff. So they have these sticks, the colourful sticks with the bells on the end that the children seem to be running around. They have a few sort of like carved wooden little statues of sort of like fairies. They have some like sort of looks like soft toys and plushies. They have a few kind of like mushroom themed kind of cups, and a few other sort of bits and pieces, just sort of toys and prizes and things in general. You'd probably have to ask them if you want to sort of know exactly what all these things are.
I think I'm gonna keep having a look around because don't have that much to spend, so
yeah, no worries.
I'm just gonna keep wandering about.
Yeah, and as you're wandering around, you notice that there's like all these bubbles that are sort of in the air, and you see that most of them seem to be coming from this tent to the right of you, which has this large bubble kind of bubbling on the top of the tent for some reason, and there's a woman outside just sort of blowing these endless bubbles into the crowds as they go through, and they seem to just spread across the entire area in the festival there. In that one there, that's it, perfect. Cool. So while you're doing that, who were the next people who came in? That would be Bula and Kane. So as you enter, I say that there's this guy on stilts who is sort of walking through, throwing sweets down to children, and you see other entertainers further into the carnival itself, some jugglers and acrobats of some sort, and there are various people sort of around, obviously attendants and things like that, if you need to ask them any questions about what's around. Or you're free to just kind of explore at your own time.
I think that Kane would maybe take a bit of an interest in all of these new people that he's not seen in town before.
Yeah. Yeah, you sort of all sort of congregated about sort of the same place at the moment. You kind of probably all looking around as new people here, whereas most of the other people with children that have like been dragged off to various things that the children have seen in the distance. But yeah, you can see there's a few people sort of around the entrance as well. Just behind you, there is a little small group of people. A tiefling, a Shedekai, and a mouseling.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to address them directly, that's far too rude. But he would maybe, as he's moving forwards, make sure to just have a quick glance at what they're up to before he gets too involved with the festivities himself.
Okay, and Bula, what are you doing?
I mean, this is Bula, so she is just obsessing over what Ken wants to do because she's never been here with him before, and this is exciting for her to just be with him.
Okay, so you guys are kind of like you're waiting with him, and he's waiting to see what other people are doing. So you're sort of like at the entrance there. Cool. Well then, Amaros, Moira and Tusvan, what are you guys doing when you come in after getting your wings? I think you're muted, Monty, if you're speaking.
I forgot that my mic, when I move it up, it mutes itself. So I did not realize that it was not in front of my face.
Right.
Moira is mostly just in awe and kind of doesn't really know what to do.
Okay. And what are the others doing?
Well, Amros is always a little bit curious of magic in general, so seeing all of the lovely, colorful bubbles in the air, he's kind of drifting a little bit towards this bubbly tint. He's a little curious to what's actually going on in there.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, as you head in that direction, let me find the page. What have I done with it? Oh God, I've lost it. I really have lost the page. Oh my goodness. There we are. There it is. Okay. So, as you come up to this the tent, you see a large blue tent decorated with large shiny soap bubbles and with a wide black chimney poking out of the center of it. And sitting just outside is a young half-elf woman happily blowing bubbles into the air whilst children run around trying to catch them. And as you get near, she'll sort of see you having a look around, and she'll say, welcome to the Bubble Pop ride. How many would you like to travel today? I assume that the others are probably following you at this point, or have you gone off on your own?
I would say that Tisvan would most likely follow him, still keeping an eye out for Idoneth or Eddie, but not really taking a big interest in anything.
Okay, no worries. Or you can give me another perception check if you like, if you want to see if you can see either of them.
That's a 14.
14. So yeah, so you have a little look. Again, you can't really see them at the moment. There are still a lot of people. They are spread out more, but here at the entrance, they don't seem to be here. You know that most of the crowd, though, because you guys were sort of towards the back, are already in the carnival somewhere, so it may be that they're just further in. But you don't notice either of them at the moment.
Yep.
At this point, I think Moira will give a little nudge and say,
You can put me down now.
Tisvan will, as before, just crouch down and let her climb down.
And as I come down on the ground, I follow Amaros.
Okay. Perfect. And Amaros, this half-elf woman who's asked you about how many tickets you like, she has got extremely long, curled brunette hair and these very blue, piercing eyes, rosy cheeks with freckles on them, and she's a reasonably attractive, sort of medium build. Wearing simple kind of carnival wear, a pink tabard with a sort of a white long dress underneath, and she's just busily sort of blowing bubbles continuously as she's waiting for your response.
Oh, good. Hello, my dear. Would you be so lovely to explain what this attraction actually entails?
Of course.
I'm a little bit curious of it.
Of course, this is the bubble ride. Essentially, you will be able to travel around the area in a large magical bubble, and you'll be able to drift on the winds, across the carnival, and land where you choose.
Oh, that sounds just delightful. I would love to take a ride on that.
Oh,
Are
lovely.
you guys following along?
Could I take your ticket, please?
And yeah, I present my ticket to her.
Okay. And she takes your ticket, and with this small, metal device, she just clips it, and then there's a little hole now in your ticket. So if you just mark down somewhere that you've used one of your 6 ride things, and she then say, please enter one at a time and enjoy your ride.
Tisvan would look over to Moira questioningly, following her lead in this.
Does it go too high?
Oh no more than 20 feet off the ground. And don't worry, if the bubble pops, you will just gently glide down to the ground.
Oh dear. Well, if it's just gliding down, if it pops, then I guess it is fine. I'll also go.
Lovely. That's it. And she punches a ticket for you. And what about you, sir? And she'll look towards you.
Sure, I'll give it a whirl and just hand over my ticket.
Excellent. And she'll punch that again for you. Ah, lovely. Well, enjoy your ride. Please enter one at a time. And Amros, I guess you'll be going in first?
Yep.
Okay, so after entering through the tent doorways, you find yourself stepping into a circle of shallow iridescent liquid. And as you stand there after a moment, a small bubble begins to grow at your feet and harmlessly passes over you, growing until you are completely enveloped within it. And at that very moment, you suddenly feel yourself become weightless as the bubble with you in it floats up and slowly climbs and goes floating out the top of the chimney. And you now float above the blue tent itself, about 20 feet in the air, just enough to kind of to be above the tents and things. And you start floating on the breeze across the carnival. This bubble will last for about a minute. And you can make a dex check if you would like to try and propel it in a particular direction, or if you're happy just to let the wind guide you, then you can see where it is that you land.
Amros is pretty happy to just let the wind take him and actually brings out the flute to try to play along with the music just to enjoy the ride even more.
Okay, perfect. So once the bubble has come out the top with Moira and Tisvan, you can see that Amros is currently inside this bubble, just helplessly floating away in the wind. And if you follow on, you will be in a similar situation just after as well. So the 3 of you are now encapsulated in these bubbles, just effortlessly floating off in the wind. So if you do want to try and direct where you're going, you'll just need to make me a dexterity check to see if you can direct it. If you want to go in a particular direction, or if you would like to just drift on the breeze for a minute, then that's up to you.
This one will be slightly tense because he doesn't really trust that a bubble will be able to hold him up, but he'll keep an eye out for Moira, see where she goes, and try to follow along after her.
Okay, so you'll all sort of blow generally in the similar direction if you're all sort of going one after the other. So we'll just move you off floating around in this sort of direction over here, one after the other. Okay, so Galati, when we come back to you again.
Yes.
What are you still looking for a dagger, or what are you up to now?
Oh no, I've seen people float around in bubbles, and I want to do that.
Okay, so as you're looking at the stalls, you look around, and there are multiple. It's not just these 3, but there are multiple people floating around in bubbles across there. Children laughing and giggling as they sort of like roll around inside, unaware of like the height that they're currently at, and not knowing that if they pop it that they'll fall to the ground or not. They're just having a good time. But yeah, so you approach your way over there, and again, the lovely lady is sitting there, a half-elven woman with this long, kind of curly brunette hair, says to you, "Oh, hello. Would you like to have a ride in the bubble?"
Yes, please.
"Oh, lovely. Could I please have your lovely ticket?"
Yeah, of course. Hand out the ticket.
Lovely. And
Take my little-
she'll take it from you and use her little metal device to sort of like clip it, and it'll just punch a hole in one of the circles on there for you. She hands it back to you again. Please enjoy, and just be careful when you go in there. If you would like to steer in a particular direction, you can. Just will yourself in that direction. Just blow within the bubble, and you'll be able to steer yourself. But be careful, it only lasts for 1 minute, and then you will pop to the ground, quite safely though.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'll just drift with the wind. It seems like a thing for me to do.
Yeah. So when you go inside, you're enveloped in this iridescent liquid as well, and you will slowly pop out the top, and you'll feel this weightlessness, which is an odd sensation to begin with because you're not creating it yourself, but you're just able to float along. So we'll say you guys are kind of floating in this direction. Maybe the wind kind of casts you this way as you're going. Yeah. And from your vantage point, 20 feet up in there, you can see actually quite a bit further over the top. You see many different tents. There's a big top just straight ahead of you north. There is another big tent that has multiple entrances to your right that seems to have lots of children going in and out, and they seem to be coming out with prizes of some sort. There are a couple of stages left and right of you with people milling about, perhaps shows or something happening on. And in the far distance, you see more sort of corrals and things with animals of some sort in them as well. And as you float along, you know that you have a slight amount of control over these bubbles as they go, but you know that they're pretty much sort of drifting on the wind at this point. So you'll have to sort of, if you see the wind pick up, you might have to, and you want to go a different direction, you might have to try and and persuade the bubble to go that way. But we'll just check in quickly with Kane and Bula. What are you currently doing at the moment? You've seen these other people that you haven't really recognized sort of from the normal town disappear off into this tent and then float away in bubbles.
I mean, as far as I know, beyond being excited over the wings that Bula had, we're just scouting the area more than anything, just keeping an eye on things, not particularly partaking in any events yet.
Okay. And Kane, are you guys just hanging right by the entrance?
I don't think we're by the entrance anymore. I think we're milling about a little bit.
Okay. If you want to move your pieces wherever you want to go within the area, and just let me know if there's anything you want to particularly do or interact with.
Trap is having some Wi-Fi trouble.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, well, I'll let Abula, if you want to just let me know if there's anything that you want to particularly do, or if you're happy to hang around with Kane.
I mean, are there any, like, strength-based stalls local to us?
So, hello? I don't know if that was someone trying to talk or not. I just heard something then in the background. Looking around from where you currently are, you see various stalls that have like things for you to purchase. There seem to be a few rides around. There doesn't seem to be anything at the moment that you see that seems to be like a strength-based event. Perhaps there are other things sort of further in as you proceed, but nothing at the moment. There are, say, acrobats and various entertainers wandering around. Give me a perception check to see if there's anything, anyone that looks, anything that looks sort of a strength related sort of game.
How do I add? Is it just rolling a d20 with the 5 thing in the bottom corner?
So if you want to roll in Foundry, or are you rolling in D&D Beyond?
In Foundry.
Yeah, so you click the so if you click on your character,
Yeah.
and then you'll be able to use your at the top left. You'll see there's buttons that say inventory, features, skills, saves, checks. So what
Yeah.
you can do is
On the public roll bit, I'm just confused on how to add the perception modifier onto it, or should I just roll?
you don't need to if you're going to use one of the rolls that are in here for your checks and things. So if you're doing a perception check, you can actually use those buttons and it will do it for you without having to type the actual dice in. If you go to skills and then perception.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Yep. And then it'll add that for you based on your. Oh, you got a 2. What have you got? You got 2d20.
I think you roll with disadvantage.
Yes, you did.
Did you mean to do that with disadvantage?
I did not. I just clicked it.
Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, so when you go to skills and perception, you've got normal, advantage, or disadvantage. So all you need to do is click the normal button.
I only see one button.
Are you clicked on your character at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have advantage, normal, and disadvantage. I'll roll a normal one for you. There you go. So you got a +1 to your perception check. Is that right? Let me look at your D&D sheet. Yeah, you got a +1 to perception, so that's correct. So you got an 11. Do you know how I did that one? Hello?
I forgot that I have to press to talk. No.
All right. Okay, so as long as you selected on your particular character the inventory, the buttons that are on the top left of the screen that say inventory, feature, then skills, if you hover then over perception and click it once, it should bring up the perception skill checklist for you, and it'll have basically the dice roll already programmed into it, and then you can just click normal, but you should have advantage and disadvantage either side of it. If you don't have that, I'll have to have a look and see why you don't have those options, but that should be what you have.
I see it, yeah. I don't know why the first time I rolled it, it just rolled it without showing me this.
It may be because you had dice already clicked in the public roll area. Maybe it got confused with what you were doing.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to roll it again, because I just rolled that one just for you, just to show you, but if you want to roll it again now. Oh dear. So
Not yours.
so you can see you can see that there are various like jugglers and bits and pieces thing, but from where you currently are, and because you're kind of keeping with Kane at the moment, you're not sort of keeping to his pace. You haven't really seen anything. At the moment.
I'm just too enthralled with Kane.
Okay. All right, we'll do that for the moment. So the three of you currently blowing over the big tent. And is there any particular direction you want to go, or are you just going to carry on letting the wind take you?
I am just gonna stick with the wind taking me where it chooses to, because I am too scared to even try anything. I'm just there, just holding on to the sides of the bubble.
Okie dokie.
Praying, basically, whispering a small prayer to the Wild Mother.
Okay.
Please don't let me die. This is not how I want to die. I have things to do.
And what about you, Amorous and Tysvan?
Since we are above everyone right now, he would try to look for Iderneth or Eddie yet again.
Okay. All right. Give me a perception check again.
Where are you, Eddie?
That is a 17.
17. So yes,
Hey.
from your vantage point, you can kind of see across the crowds a bit more. You're not 100% sure, but it looks like you might have seen your friend sort of the other side of the tent, kind of over here. You can see where I'm clicking.
Yeah, then Tisvan would try to manipulate the bubble over there.
Okay.
Calling out to the other two that I saw someone I know. I'm going over this way.
Okay, so you can give me a acrobatics check, please, to see if you can manipulate the bubble going into the direction you want.
That is a 15.
Perfect. Yes, so you do. You're able to sort of blow or move yourself in such a way that it actually allows the bubble to go in a slightly different direction. So you'll start heading this way across. The other two, do you when you hear Tisvan saying about seeing a friend, do you carry on the way you're going, or do you try and move in that direction as well?
Sorry?
Right. I would follow as well, yes.
Okay, so if you're going to follow, then you both need to make me an acrobatics check, please, to see if you can maneuver your bubble in that direction as well.
Okay, I will do that.
That is a 19 from me.
Yep, so yeah, you're able to move your bubble in that direction as well. So you start going in that way.
Acrobatics?
I didn't
Yep.
see what it was, but someone moved me.
Oh, this way, yeah. In this direction, yeah, you'll be going. Cool.
Oh,
There you go. Yep. So yeah, you all managed to manipulate the bubbles and start heading off in this direction as well. Now you've probably only got about another 30 seconds left of this bubble, having drifted this far across. So you know they're gonna be popping, or you're gonna have to make a landing soon. But hopefully you'll be able to get to the other side of this large tent before you come down to the ground again. Otherwise, you'll be stuck on the top of a tent. So, so you can start heading off in that direction. Galatea,
Yes.
you're currently floating the bubble. Are you going in any particular direction, or are you just happy for it to carry you along?
No, I'm just happy for it to carry me along, but I would like to see if there's what I can under me as I go. And
Yeah.
if I recognize anyone.
Sorry, so you're looking for people, or are you looking just in general?
Choices. No, I'm just gonna try and take it all in.
Okay, so you have from your vantage point, like 20 feet up in the air, you can see to the right of you there's a large tent with flags and things, with multiple entrances and lots of noise and children that sort of running in and out, and there seems to be some sort of events under the cover there. There is a large platform to the right as well that seems to be set up for some kind of event. It looks like a sort of an audience participation sort of thing. There's a huge big top in the center, which you assume some sort of show is going to happen at some point during the day. And then far off to the left, beyond some of the tents, you see a large carousel that has what looks like multiple unicorns, like statues that are sort of attached, going round in a ring. And that seems to be currently sort of turning around at the moment. Looks like some kind of ride. And then off in the far distance at the moment, you see various corrals of animals or some sort of creatures. Perhaps they're rides, or perhaps like things that you can ride on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it drift.
Yeah.
Me.
So the wind's sort of currently drifting in this direction. And you can see multiple other people in bubbles ahead of you. They're all sort of seem to be drifting off now to the left, but you seem to be being taken off to the right at the moment. So, but if you wish to kind of direct yourself, you will be able to make a roll if you want to do that as well.
Nah.
Cool.
Sorry, Faye.
That's all right. And so
No, we're
let's,
gonna go this way.
that's fine. Let's check in again with Kane and Bula and see what they are up to currently. So what are you two guys? What are you two guys up to?
Sorry, I'm just dealing with my smalls.
Okay.
But Kane has said that in Orcish to Bula that they are going to do some of the festivities. But keep an eye on everyone.
Okay. Is there anything you particularly want to head towards?
I'm gonna leave that up to Kane. Because I have crying small. I'm really, really sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, we
everyone?
can hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've switched the phone, so I just want to make sure. Okay, I think that after maybe saying to Bula about keeping an eye on these guys, but not making it our whole time here just running around after them, he'll maybe just take a look around at what there is on offer. I think Kane would quite possibly have an interest in the rather large bugs over here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say that if you kind of like walk around this sort of area together, and you're kind of keeping an eye on people as they go about their business, and you're sort of taking what's available. So there's a large stage that you walk past just in front of the big top, and that seems to be set up for some kind of event, but which is obviously not happening currently at the moment. There may be some kind of signage on it talking about a show that's going to be happening this evening, so possibly something to check in on later if you're interested. And as you come around the backside there, you see this large carousel. If either of you have been come into contact with them before, or to your eyes it would look like a large wooden disc with these sort of wooden hand-painted unicorns that seems to currently be rotating round with small children in the saddles sort of riding these fake horses. And then towards off into the distance, as you're walking around the corner, you'll see these very large beetles of some sort. And again, there seem to be children and adults alike riding the back of them, and they sort of seem to like colliding into each other over there, and lots of merriment, lots of people running around, and constantly around your feet are children with various sort of candy and sweets and various things to eat, like running about.
Wait, are these bumper beetles?
Maybe.
I just wrote that too.
Well, this is all so indulgent. Certainly, there'll have to be a day of worship after such revelry.
Exactly. Yes. To keep the balance, there'll have to be quite a lot of praying to do the next day to kind of balance things out a bit more. But of course, you know that Libra and the other brothers are still there, still praying and things in the temple. So the balance of your joint effort at the temple is kind of balancing at the moment, because they are asking you to keep an eye on the people and be the presence for the temple there during the day. So it's a kind of if they were all there, it would be in balance. So
I think that Kane would turn to Bula and say, I know that you were looking for something to test your own strength, but these beasts certainly seem strong by their own right. Perhaps we could go and see what event is happening over there, seeing as the strange new visitors have quite conveniently put themselves in a very easy to see position.
and she may be busy at the moment with her small, so I'll assume that she'll probably agree with you, because she wants to do things that you want to do, and if you want to show some interest in that, so we'll get you to sort of move along in that direction. As for you three, you will carry on moving along, and I'll say by this point, you're probably coming to the end of your bubble time, and we'll say that after you just get the other side of this big tent, your bubbles will start drifting slowly to the ground, and just before about a foot above, they'll pop, and you'll all just sort of go boop, 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 and plop to the floor gently.
This was a lot lovelier than I thought. I thought we were gonna pop all the way up there and then fall to the ground to our deaths. But that did not happen.
I quite enjoy this.
Could very well have happened.
I am quite pleased.
Okay. So from your vantage point at the moment, you see that you're sort of just in front of this other attraction with these giant beetles that seem to be running around and bumping into each other in an arena. Tisvan, you the figure that you saw as you were floating over that you identified as your friend. Now that you're here, they've sort of carried on walking as you've landed. So it seemed that they were carrying further up north from where your current position is. But they say they've probably within the crowd still, because there's so many people, here and children running around. It's kind of like constantly moving. And although you were able to direct your bubbles, they were slow.
How far away would this person be?
So as you were coming down to meet into the ground, they'd probably be towards the back end of this where the beetles are. So further north, about here on the map, if you can see where I'm clicking.
Tisvan would attempt to go over, try to see if it actually is his friend or if it's just someone else. Walk with rather hurried steps over there.
Cool. So we'll say you moved about here, your movement over into that area. The other two, are you going to follow?
Yep.
Okie
Yeah, follow along.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say that you're all sort of group up and you're sort of head in that direction. If you want to give me another perception check, this fun to see if you can sort of spot where they've gone. They were sort of headed off in this direction, but now that you're a bit closer, and now that you're within the crowd rather than being above, just to see if you can locate them.
That is a 16.
Perfect. Yeah. So it seems that they are standing over to. There's some sort of musical instrument. Somebody turning the handle of it, and it looks like she's standing next to them.
Can I tell if it's her or not?
You'll have to get a bit closer to see if it is, but you can carry on going at this point to get close enough to see if it is her or not.
Okay.
So I'll get you to move over to be roughly be here. And yes, by the time you get to this point, you see that it is your friend, who I've been trying to think of the name and find them in my thing. Iduneth, that's it. Iduneth, yes. Iduneth is sitting on the side of this hay bale, just in quiet contemplation, I think. She doesn't seem to be reveling with everyone else, but she's sort of listening to the music as it plays and watching the kids and things play on these beetles currently.
Tisvan would walk up to her and kneel down beside her and just quietly ask, Iduneth, how are you doing today? Are you all right?
Oh, yes, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Did
you get any sleep last night?
Not really. Eddie convinced me to come out, and I didn't want to really be involved with this today, of all days, but he said it would be good for me, so I'm here.
Is Eddie around here as well, or?
No, he's in the bookshop.
Of course he is. Would you like to come along with me, my friends, or do you want to be alone for a while?
She'll look at you, and you can see there's still tears, like just the faintness of tears, sort of in the eyes. Just seeing you, and just being reminded of the fact that you're the only one now that she has connection with, her family and stuff not being there anymore, and she'll just sort of turn away and she'll just say, no, I think I'd like to be on my own for a bit, if that's all right, perhaps later.
Of course, take your time. I'll always be here for you. You know that.
Thank you. And she'll just take your hand and just give it a squeeze, and say, I know, thank you.
Would it be would it be obvious to myself and Amaros, or that there's something, or at least a conversation between these two?
Well, seeing as you've been following Tisfan around, I assume you're standing relatively close. So if you're like right up against him, you probably heard the conversation. If you saw that he was meeting someone and you wanted to give them a bit of space, then perhaps you want to make an insight check to see if you can see any kind of try and ascertain what kind of conversation it is that they're having.
Nah, I was just if I were to notice that there is a conversation going on, I would give space.
Yeah.
And step away.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So yeah, you definitely see Tisfan like having a conversation with someone. But if you've kept back, then yeah, you're. If you want to sort of see if you can kind of ascertain whether it's a happy conversation or a sad conversation, then you need to make me an insight check. But other than that, then that's all that you would know currently.
Actually, I'll do that. I'll
Yeah?
do that.
Okay, give me an insight check. So yeah, you're not kind of sure. Definitely, they know each other, and definitely, they seem to be compared to everyone around them. All the laughter and the fun going on, they seem quite stoic about whatever conversation they're having. So, that's sort of all you can kind of gather without hearing what they're saying. But, yeah.
I turn to Amaros and as much as a mouseling can whisper to a humanoid,
Let's give them some privacy, okay?
As you say, my dear.
Perfect.
And Amoros kind of presents his tail to her in case she wants to hold on to something to not get lost while this one is busy.
Oh, thank you very much. I would, this crowd is intimidating, but I'll be fine.
And even the children are pretty much, twice your height as well, running around. So, yeah, most you're sort of towered by everything. And so, if you want to see any of the rides, you're probably going to have to be either lifted up again or wait for a gap in the crowd to be able to get to the front to see what's going on. But let's just briefly jump back to Galatine. You're currently floating off across this area at the moment, and you've probably got another sort of like maybe sort of 10 more seconds before your bubble starts to pop as well. Have you been drifting along in the wind?
I want to go a little bit higher if I can.
So there's an enchantment on the bubble, so which won't actually allow you to go up, but you only sort of like to steer a little bit as well. So you can't. There's a sort of a safety thing with it, so that you can't actually go too high. Otherwise, just in case the enchantment for the feather fall doesn't work.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you see from your point here, you're sort of passing nearby to the big top. You can see these other sort of like stalls. There's one below you that seems to have food and drink at the moment, and you can see some fun little toadstool tables and chairs that have been set out, all to do with the sort of the theme of the festival. And then maybe sort of further off into the distance north of you, you can see what seems to be quite a large sort of an arena or track of some sort that people are sort of milling towards at the moment as well as you're flying over.
Which direction am I floating?
So you're sort of heading in sort of this direction, sort of a northeast direction.
Yeah, I'll keep going that way.
Keep going that way? Okay, cool. So we'll say that you probably go for a little bit further, and eventually you will say you get to about here, and then your bubble will slowly drift down to the ground and then pop, setting you down on the ground again.
I'm gonna have a brief grin on my face before going back to my normal
Okay.
sort of reserved self.
Excellent. Perfect. And are you heading in the other direction? Are you heading further north? Are you looking around where you currently are? Where do you think you're heading now?
Could I check out the food?
Yeah, sure. Yep. If you come over here. So let me So here there will be there's a shopkeeper, a gentleman. He's sort of a halfling, kind of a short, stocky build, bald, a big bristly dark moustache, wearing like a white shirt with his arms rolled up, a big sort of long leather apron on, and a large money belt to his side. And he'll see you sort of coming over. He's got a few customers that he's just finished with, and he sees you coming over. He says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you out with a drink or some food?"
Yeah. How much?
Well, I have a wide selection today because of the festival here. What are you in the mind? What are your flavors you kind of looking out for? I've got some warm honey tea, if you're interested in that. Or if you're looking for something a little bit kick to it, I've got some sweet whiskey, hot spiced wine. Or are you hungry at the moment? I've got some lovely honeycomb cakes. Pixie tarts are very popular at the moment. Or if you just want a little snack, I've got some sugar glazed button mushrooms. And of course, the kids all like the fairy fluff as well. So any of those things float your boat?
Could I have... What's the honey tea?
Honey tea, of course you can, yes. That's just 4 copper pieces for that will be.
Oh, perfect. Could I try one of those fairy cakes as well? They look delicious.
The pixie tarts or the honeycomb cakes?
Pixie tarts.
Pixie tarts, of course you can, not a problem. So yeah, so the pixie tarts are 2 copper pieces, so that's 6 copper pieces in all.
Okay.
So the warm honey tea comes in a little wooden teacup. That has a large flower head on top just to keep in the heat, and is a very sweet tea, very very hot when given to you. And the pixie tart itself are like a colourful, colourful powdered candy that sits in like a little tiny little cup. And essentially, when you eat that, the ends of it of this sort of powder, when you put it in your mouth, just makes sort of like popping and cracking noises on your tongue.
Is it? That's unusual.
Yes, so the kids love them, the little pixie tarts. Not technically tarts, I suppose, but they're more of a sort of a sugary snack that they can have. But the kids love them. So.
Thank you.
That's very welcome. Anything else? Are you having a good day here at the festival so far?
Yes, it's lovely. I just bubbled over.
Oh yes, I saw. Yeah, many people have been travelling in those today. They look like great fun. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to have a go in them later on. But are they safe? Quite safe, are they?
Oh yes, quite. How long is this festival for?
Oh, it's just today. Just today, I believe. The carnival here. It's only until till the sun goes down. But it's very nice of Lady of Duchess Morwen, should I say, to invite all these people here. I'm actually just a local seller at the Daggerford myself, but all these this carnival people, they're all travellers, I believe. But they're very nice. They allow us to sell our goods here as well, which we normally do every year. But this is a lot more fancy than we're usually used to. So I brought a few more things out with me today.
Oh, I haven't come across your shop yet. Where is it? In the market square? Or...
Oh yes, I have a stall in the market square. Well, in fact, it's this stall in the market square. My name's Mortimer. Mortimer's Goods. You'll see me. I'm just have a regular. I assume you're not a regular here at Daggerford. Is it maybe first time here? Is it maybe?
First time, yes. I've only been a few days.
Yes. Well, I'm usually in the market stall most days. Not on the weekends. I usually have those off, but during the week, I usually have my stall there. Some different things that I'm selling today. Usually have some spice wine and things, but the honey stuff is usually sort of a traditional drink that they have here on the Feywild Festival.
Oh, lovely. I will enjoy this, and I'll find you after. Of
course, yes. Lovely to see you, and have a great rest of the day here at the festival. Let me know if you find any other rides that are as fun as the bubble.
Oh, I will.
Lovely. And he'll turn to the next people in the queue and start serving them.
I'm gonna walk off and breathe out, and sort of compose myself after all the peopling that I've just done.
Yes, exactly. Quite a lot for you to be engaging. Right. Let's go back to Kane and Bula. You will continue. Are you walking up to get to the beetles, I assume?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. And as you approach, you see that there is some sort of corral with these giant beetle creatures that are basically being currently having children and parents sort of led away from the beetles now, and they're being sort of like brushed down a little bit and sort of looked after by a gentleman who's sort of walking around. The area of this part of the field seems to be quite muddy now that all these beetles have churned up the earth quite a lot, and the kids who are coming off, they seem to be in pretty good condition. Some of them have got a few bumps and scrapes. It seems like this ride is a little bit more involved than some of the other ones. But everyone seems to be having fun with this particular ride. It does seem that the beetles seem to sort of bump into each other and kind of flail about, and you're not quite sure if the idea is that you're supposed to stay on or like stop them from bumping into each other or actually make them collide. That's what you can kind of see.
So, what do you think about this attraction? Should we give it a go?
Well, it surely is quite bizarre, but perhaps it's fun. I think we should give it a go.
There's only one way to find out, I suppose.
Perfect. So if you head on over, there will be a gentleman who is currently wiping down some of the bugs and making sure that they're all right, checking their faces, checking, make sure none of their whatever the beetles call, they're not antennas, but their little mandibles at the front, making sure they're all good, and he'll be getting ready to load on the next 6 people onto the ride. And as you getting close now, you see that this is these giant iridescent beetles. They sit in this arena marked with colourful flags and fences, and each of the beetles has a large colourful spot painted on the side of its saddle, with the numbers 1 to 6 in the centre. And they're sort of just slowly sort of milling about, sort of sitting currently inactive, sort of inside the arena. It seemed to be that when the music was played, that's when they started moving around. So they're obviously been trained to stay still for loading and unloading of passengers. The chap who comes over to you is a tiefling. He's probably sort of the equivalent of about 30 in human years. And he's got thick, wavy red hair and these sort of like dark brown eyes. He's pretty rugged. He's got some rugged good looks to him. He's got a warm kind of grey skin tone to him, with 2 bull-like horns that grow out of either side of his head. Very toned, very muscular. He's obviously quite fit, having to look after these beasts and sort of push them around a little bit when they need sort of manhandling, I guess, if they're being reluctant to do what he wants. He's just wearing a kind of a red riding jacket and simple brown leather trousers and boots. And he'll come over and he'll just sort of, not particularly to you, but to the people in the crowd who are waiting in line, he'll say, welcome to the Beetle Pop. Children must be accompanied by adults, otherwise riding is at your own risk. And he pats one of the beetles and scratches behind its shell. Pretty simple ride here. Hold on tight. Try not to let your beetle collide with another one. And last beetle standing wins. Any questions? And he'll sort of look out at the crowd.
Well met there, sir. Would I be able to ride your attraction with my armor still on, or would you rather that I take it off first?
Oh, that's completely up to you, sir. I mean, if you want to keep your armor on, that won't be any disadvantage to you. And in fact, if you fall off the beetle, then it's probably better that you've got it on than not. But it's usually the beetles that hit each other, not the people. So you won't need it necessarily, but it's fine to keep on.
All right then. Well, I suppose I'll keep it on, if that's quite all right with you. But we'd certainly like to have a go at your attraction here. It seems quite interesting.
Of course, yeah, the 2 of you. Yeah, have you got your ticket there, and I can just give it a quick punch?
Yes, absolutely. Here it is.
Perfect. So it takes your 2 tickets, and they'll use a little metal contraption to punch both your cards. So you can mark 1 off of your 6. And he'll say, okay. So if you want to just pop on over the ladders there and pick yourself a beetle.
All right then. Will do.
So if you want to position yourself on one of the beetles that you want to choose.
Okay. I am going to go for this one.
Okay. And now there are little ladders to the side that children use to climb up, which you can use as well. And you might need the help with the armor because it's probably going to restrict your kind of movement. Or you can clamber on best you can as well. But essentially, there's a saddle onto each one, and you can just get yourself ready. So I need you to roll me d6 each, please, and tell me. Well, actually, you know what? Let's not do that because you might end up with the same number because there's only 2 of you. Actually, while you 2 are getting on board, the 3 of you over here, Tisfin, Moira, and Amaros, you see the beetle ride currently allowing new people on. Are you interested in joining, or are you looking to do something else?
Is there a way to, like, what are these things?
The beetles?
No, hold on. Are they barrels?
So there's a fence, and these are haystacks that people can sit on to watch.
Oh yeah, is there a way for me to stand on the haystack?
You can stand on one. Yeah, it's fine. There are people sitting on various ones, looking over the fence. But you can stand on one and look at the ride as well if you like.
I feel like I need to stand.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to choose where you want to go,
I would love to watch. Yes.
Yeah. What about the other 2?
Tisman
was gonna. Okay, you take
You first. Nope, you first.
Are you? Fine. Amor's gonna look at the other 2 and go, you guys want to give it a try?
Not in the mood right now. I'll stay here with Moira and watch.
Yes, I think I will watch this one.
Well, I think I will like to give it a try. I always wondered what it was like to ride a beetle.
Okay. So if you head round to the front, you'll meet with the guy, the other tiefling, on front, and he will give you a nod, the fellow tiefling, and say, welcome aboard. You're going to try out the beetles today?
Yes, I would like to give them a try.
Excellent.
Sounds like it could be an interesting time.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And don't worry about the beetles themselves. They don't get hurt as much. It seems that they're like knocking into each other, but be reassured. These things in the wild, they go hammer and tongs. Here they're just like gentle bumping. They've been trained well just to kind of bump into each other. So no worries. No animal cruelty here at this carnival. So if you'd like to jump over up the ladder and pick yourself beetle.
I'm gonna take this one.
Okay, so we'll say that Kane, you are on
triangle.
You're on beetle number 2, Kane. Amaros, you're on beetle number 3, and Beulah, you're on beetle number 6.
Oh no! Can I switch beetle to an odd number?
If you like, yeah.
Which one's an odd number?
Well, you've got 1, 3, or 5.
Yeah,
sorry, 1, 4, or 5. Yeah, so number 5 would be this one.
Okay, she's run across to the other beetle, noticing that Kane was on an even number, and then just across the range, she yells,
"Oh, okay.
You like your
Oh no, I'm trapped between 2 players.
You like all your equality? I picked an odd number. You got an even number. Now we're balanced."
Oh, well, thank you very much, Bula. It's definitely appreciated.
Excellent. Well, so the other people in the crowd, there are several children who jump on some of the other beetles there, and when the ride is completely full, then the ride will begin. And I'm just turning on a light. Oh, there we go. Right, so the gentleman who let you all on the tiefling, he will return to the music box and he will shout over the top. Okay, here we go. And he turns the wheel of the side of the wooden box and music begins to play. So when the music starts to play, the beetles all began to scatter. Okay, so the idea is that you need to try and it's like a reverse bumper cars. You want to try and not to bump into the other beetles, because if your beetle takes too many bumps to the head, they will stop. And the last beetle moving is the one that is the winner. So, first of all, we've already assigned the numbers of the beetles. So each go, you will need to make a animal handling check to try and steal your beetle away from collision. If you collide, you get a fail. And after you've taken 3 fails, then your beetle is out of action. So to begin with, we'll say Kane. The NPC is number 1. Actually, let's roll initiative to see who goes first, rather than doing it that way. Let's see. We'll make it fair for everyone. So if you want to roll initiative, and we'll see who gets to go first.
I doubt it will be me. I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7.
How do I roll initiative when the thing says I can't roll initiative?
You just roll a d20 and then add your modifier to it, because that's usually only for a combat encounter. So if you just click the d20 button and then click the plus to add however many you've got for your animal handling check, and then roll it. Okay, so you got a 10, and what did you get, Kane?
One second, just dealing with the technology side of this.
No worries.
Did that work?
Oh, 21, yep. Okay, so Kane is definitely first. And let me roll a d20 for each child. Oh my god, children. Oh, why does it say amorous? I don't know why it was. I must have been selected on you at the time. So they got 2 13s and a 12. That's helpful. Okay, so it will be Kane. Then it will be the 3 children. Then it will be Beulah, and last I think was Amoros. Okay, so Kane, the music starts and your beetle starts heading off. Oh, hang on a minute. I need to put on this. Okay, so the beetles, as they hear this horrifying music that they just sends them into an irate rant, they start careening off in all kind of directions, and you need to try and steer your beetle away from colliding with another one. So, first of all, can you roll me a d6 to see which beetle your beetle is heading for?
Would that be me?
That's you, yeah.
Okay. Oh, the +2 shouldn't be on that.
Oh, okay, so it's just a 3. Okay, so you're heading towards Amoros. Okay, so you need to make me a animal handling check to see if you can steer your beetle away from ramming into Amoros's beetle.
Wait.
Okay, yep.
I got confused. Was it Kane that needed to roll to avoid mine, or did I need to roll to avoid his?
Yeah, Kane is doing the rolling at the moment. It's him in the initiative order, so he's going first. Okay, perfect. So you managed to steer your beetle away from colliding in with Amoros, and you just basically slide past all their shells together, and you managed to make it. So perfect. Okay, so the next one is an NPC, a child, on number 1. They are going to see if they can control their beetle and see who they're aiming for. So let's see who they're aiming for. Their beetle starts heading towards Amoros as well. So Amoros, you are being attacked by multiple sides by these beetles. Now let's see if their animal handling.
Popular.
Let's see if their animal handling is up to snuff. No, unfortunately not. So their beetle comes careering towards you and slams into yours. Now, are you quick enough to be able to move the beetle's head away before you take damage? So can you make me an animal handling check to see if you can avoid taking damage?
That is a 14.
14, yeah, you do. So they do slam into the side of your beetle, but because it wasn't the head, you don't lose a point, but they do. So they have taken 1 damage, and you are fine. Okay, the next child. Which way are they going to go? A 1. So they're heading for the child that just got hit. So let's see if they hit one another. So they managed to avoid hitting into that one, so they both pass unaffected. Last child, who are they heading for? They're heading for Amros as well. Amros, you're being attacked on all sides by all the beetles. Let's see if they collide with you. And no, they managed to pull it away as well. So thankfully, all these beetles are coming towards you, but they are all sliding around and missing you. Bula, it's now your turn. Your beetle is heading towards somebody. Can you roll me a d6 to find out who it is? You are heading for a child, a small child, being going to be rammed into unless you can manage to maneuver out of the way. So can you give me an animal handling check, please? Oh, a natural 20, perfectly. Oh, 23 max. So yeah, you effortlessly just kick your heels into the side of this beetle, and it just bends to your whim and just avoids colliding with this small child. Thankful this child gives you a little wave. And the last one is an Amoros, your beetle. Where is it heading? Give me a roll of d6, please.
Are you kidding me? I'm heading for myself.
You're heading for yourself.
3.
You rolled a 3? Oh dear. Okay, so you'll roll again because we need you to head for somebody else. You can't really ram into yourself.
5.
5? Okay, so you are heading for Bula. So she just avoided another one, and your one is careering towards her. So give me a animal handling check to see if you can avoid colliding.
Ooh, that's a 1.
Oh dear! So you go slamming into Bula's beetle. Now, Bula, I need you to make an animal handling check again to see if you can maneuver out of the way so the head of your beetle doesn't get hit. And Amoros, unfortunately, you've taken 1 fail. Yes, Bula, again, effortlessly just move your beetle out of the way, and Amoros' one just slams into the side. You have taken no damage. Right, back to the top of the list. So, Kane, it is your turn.
Sorry, didn't mean to hit, yep.
Can you give me a d6 roll, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're now heading towards Bula.
Oh no.
So give me an animal handling check to see if you can avoid hitting into her.
I'm sorry in advance.
No, you slam into the side of Bula, so you take a fail there. And Bula, can you make me another animal handling check to see if you can, once again, avoid the head-on collision? Another effortless move. Swinging backwards and forwards, Bula has complete control of this beetle, bending it to her whim, just avoiding any head-on collisions. Perfect. So yes, again, you've taken 1 damage at that point. All right, it's an NPC child. Let's see how they do. Who are they going to go after? Oh, number 6. That's another NPC child. So it's child versus child. Let's see if they hit. No, the child manages to stop them from colliding. Very good, child. Well done. The second child, who are they going to go for? They're going for Bula. There's another one heading your way. Can they avoid you? They do. They have been watching you, Bula, and they seem to be picking up your maneuvers and able to control the beast. So these beetles are just whiffing each other. Just no head-on collisions coming along. Perfect. And the last NPC child, who are they going to be heading towards? They're heading towards Amoros. I have another one coming. Let's see if they can maneuver it out of the way. Oh, so close to doing it, but unfortunately the reins slip in their hand and they go careening into the side of you. That's the last child, so that was that one. So they fail, but can you avoid the head-on collision? So could you give me an animal handling correct, please? Okay.
That is a 18.
18, yes. So you do avoid it. Perfect. Okay, Bula, can you give me a d6 roll, please? Okay, you're heading towards yourself. So could you make me another roll? Perfect. You're heading towards another child. A child that hasn't taken a hit so far. So could you see if you could avoid this child as well with another animal handling check? Oh dear, this time, unfortunately, yeah, you don't manage to keep the change. The beetle seems to be fed up with following these jerks to the reins itself, and it goes smashing into this child. Unfortunately, you take one fail. Okay. And then Amros, can you give me a D6, please? Oh, sorry, I haven't rolled for the child. Let me see if the child was able to avoid. Yes, they were. So they don't take a hit, but you do, unfortunately. Amros, D6, please.
Well, I rolled another 3, so roll again.
Yeah, roll again,
1.
please. And a 1. Okay, so you're heading towards Kane this time. Give me a D20 roll to see if you avoid head-on collision.
Wasn't Kane 2?
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, who was 1? Oh, yeah, it's an NPC child, sorry.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20, yeah. So, yes, you move your beetle. You're getting the hang of the controls now. You're able to maneuver it, so you save the child from a head-on collision. Perfect. All right, Kane, back to the top of the list for you again. Can you give me a D6 to see which way you're heading this time?
All right. Oh, why is that? I don't want to roll 2. I want to roll 1. There we go.
Okay, you're heading towards Amros. So can you give me a D20 to see if you can avoid?
Okay.
Animal handling.
Oh
dear. No, not this time, unfortunately. And once again, your beetle goes slamming into Amros's. So you've now got 2 fails. And Amros, can you see if you can maneuver out the way before you get the head-on collision with another animal handling check, please?
Alright. That is 19.
Perfect, yes. So you do avoid the head-on collision. Excellent. All right, NPC child number 1. Who are you going for? It's going to be Kane. So another beetle comes out after your collision. Another one's heading towards you. Can they steer out of the way before they ram into you? No, they can't. The child slams into you, taking another point of damage. They are also at 2 failures. Kane, can you make a animal handling check to see if you can avoid getting a 3rd strike?
Okay.
Oh, no. You hit and you get taken out of the running, unfortunately. As your beetle gets whacked in the face for the 3rd time, the beetle's shell just cracks open a little bit. Its little wings pop out and it just sits into the mud like that. It's stationary.
I think that poor Kane is just so startled by the 3 hits in quick succession that he just falls off the beetle.
Okay, just slide off the back of the beetle as well.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so unfortunately, Kane is out. Right, that was one of the children that hit you, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the children.
One of the children, yeah. So let's see, number 1. Yeah, they took that other fail. Okay, perfect. So, second NPC child. Let's see who they are heading towards. They are heading towards one of the other children. Let's see if they can, if they're going to hit or miss. They do collide, so they take damage the first time they've been hit. And the other child, let's see if they can roll to get out of the way. And they don't, and so that child is now out. Okay, so we've got another beetle who's just popped its wings out and just laying still in the mud now. So 2 people out, 4 people left to go. Another NPC child. Let's see who they're heading towards. 4, that was... that's them, so they have to roll again. 3, that is Amros. They're coming towards you. So let's see if they can maneuver their beetle out of the way. They can. Effortlessly, the child moves the beetle and it just glides past you. Perfect. Bula, it's your turn. Who are you heading towards? Okay, you're heading to who's that? Yeah, child. Another child again. Another NPC child. So let's see if you can maneuver out of the way this time, or if you're going to have a collision with them. Oh, so close. But unfortunately, you ram into the side of this child. So you've taken 2 failures now. And let's see if this child can maneuver themselves out of the way before you hit them. Oh, that's the wrong dice, this one. No, they don't. They get a head-on collision with this child, and they are also they've also taken 2 hits now as well. All right. Amros, it's your turn. Please roll me a d6 to see who you're going after.
Well, I rolled a 2, but he's out.
They're out, yep. So roll again. Might get harder as we go on, because I think when there's down to 2, there's going to be just no rolls. It's just going to go after each other.
A 4.
A 4, yes, you can go for that child. Okay, so there's a child there. Let's see if you hit them. Can you roll me an animal handling check, please?
16.
16, yes, you maneuver the beetle and you avoid hitting into them. Perfect. Okay, all right, so it is NPC child number 1, they are out. NPC child number 2, let's see who they're heading towards. They are heading towards, that's their, no, that child is currently out, so let's roll again. That's the same child. Who's that number 5? That's Bula. Okay, he's heading towards you, Bula. Let's see if they can hit you or if they will miss. Oh, it was almost a miss, but it's finally a... sorry, yeah, they managed to miss you. So they have control of their one, and their next child needs to roll there. And they roll a 5, which is Bula again. So let's see if this other child will be able to get out of the way. Natural 20, yes, they have full control of this beetle. They managed to avoid you, paying you respects for missing them earlier on in the game. Bula, it's now your turn. Three, that's Amros. So we're heading towards Amros. Can you give me an animal handling check, please? Oh dear, you're going to slam into this poor child. Unfortunately, before you hit, or just after you hit, your beetle gives up the ghost, pops its little wings out and slides into the mud. Let's see if the other child could avoid the hit. No, they don't. They get hit and...
Amaros?
Sorry? Oh, it's Amros. Sorry, that's right, yes. Amros, you get to roll your own dice then. I won't roll for you. I thought it was a child. That's what she's normally going after.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay, so yeah, so you managed to survive that. That's good. All right, so Bula is out as well. So it's just you and these 2 other children left. So let's, and it's now your turn.
Come on, kids, let's go.
That's it.
Wait, was it my turn to roll now?
It's your turn to roll now, yeah. Because you were rolling.
Sorry.
You were rolling to defend a minute ago. So we'll say 1, 2 is one child, 3, 4 is another child, and you're 5 and 6.
Well, that's 1.
Okay, so that's child number 1. All right, so roll me a d20 and see if you miss them. Or if you hit them.
15?
15, yep, so you managed to miss them. So that child is okay. But now it's their turn. So let's see if they will miss you. So they're aiming for you. Let's see if they can get out of the way or not. Yes, they do. They managed to miss. Perfect. And the second NPC child, let's see. They are going to go after the first child. So let's roll and see if they miss or hit. They sadly aren't able to control their beast, and they hit into that child, and that child is now out. So there is only 1 child and 1 adult left in this competition, and it's currently your go, Amoros. So 1 to 3 is them. 4, 5, 6 is you.
3.
3, yep, so that is them. So roll me animal handling to see if you can avoid colliding.
17.
You do indeed avoid colliding. Okay.
I've been rolling high on this one.
You have, yeah. Right, so the child, I'm going to say at this point, because there's only the 2 of you, they're just going to go after each other. So we'll just do animal handling checks now. So the child is heading towards you. Do they miss you or do they hit? They miss. Okay, so you 2 are gracefully dodging round each other. So back to you again. Make me an animal handling check, please.
15 from me as well.
Okay, they miss as well. You miss them. Let's see if they can hit you. They fail this time, so they are going to hit. Let's see. That means that they will suffer 1 more hit. Okay, so they do that. Let's see if you avoid being hit right on the head. So give me an animal handling check, please.
16.
You do indeed. You don't get hit. All right, your turn. Please give me an animal handling check. It's neck and neck at the moment. You both have the same score. What's that?
It's a little nerve-wracking,
It
actually.
is. That's it. This child and you are going head to head. Say again.
Another 16.
Another 16. Again, you've managed to maneuver it away, these 2 beetles. There's only the 2 of you left, and you know the next person to get a hit is going to be out. So you're both furiously driving these beetles backwards and forwards. You can see the anger, the child getting a little bit angry now that wants you to lose. So, but still trying to avoid being collided with themselves. They are now going to try and roll to see if they can maneuver their beetle out of the way one more time. No, they fail. They're heading towards you. And in fact, actually, it doesn't matter because that is their last failure. So let's just see if you both knock each other out in the last one or whether or not you survive. So give me one last animal handling check, please.
Crossing my fingers. 14.
14, yes, you do. You managed to. He's managed to do it. And Amaros, their beetle falls to the ground. Its little wings pop out, and you win the challenge. Hey! And we are back to the normal. Oh goodness, where's the music gone? There we go. Congratulations, you have won the first game of the evening. And the tiefling jumps over the fence as the beetles come to a stop, and he says, okay, we have a winner. Well done. You kept my beetle safe. Here, this is for you. And he hands you a little packet as a prize winning, and it says pixie dust. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking part. If you wouldn't mind leaving your beetles and climbing back over the fence again, and if you'd like to come back a little bit later, we'll leave the beetles to have a little bit of a rest before we start the next round. But if you'd like to come back again later on, you're more than welcome to have another go. And
Ambrose would like to get over to the child that he was in the quote-unquote finals with, and actually give him one of the buns that he bought here as a what is it called? Condolence prize?
Perfect. Yeah. So the little kid is sort of seems a little bit miffed that they didn't do it, but when you come over with the bun and offer it to them, they will graciously take it and say, "Oh, thank you, sir. That was a good fight. But I'll get you next time."
I'll happily take the revenge, my little one.
And he runs off and he scampers over the fence and goes back to his mates and stuff, and they just sort of other children, and they all sort of run off into the crowds again. And just for your reference, the pixie dust luckily has instructions on the back that tell you exactly what it does. And I will assign this to you in D&D Beyond. But this pixie dust, as an action, you can sprinkle it on yourself or another creature within 5 feet, and you gain a flying speed of 30 feet and can hover for 1 minute. And when the spell ends, you float safely to the floor. But it's only one use.
Ooh. And as he gets off and passes Bull and Kane, we'll say, good fight. Maybe we can fight again sometime.
Definitely, stranger. If I might ask, what's your name?
My name is Amaros, and I do a bit of a bow, as Amaros has a tendency to do when introducing himself.
Kane Cradle, cleric of Argental.
Oh, and I'm Bula.
Lovely to meet you both. Well, I'm gonna meet up with my other friends, but maybe we meet again here when the bills are rested up, yeah?
Maybe we will.
Excellent. Well, unfortunately, I think that will be it for this evening because I think it's quite late in Finland.
Also, yes, I would like to go to sleep at some point, but also,
but yeah, I think we will leave it there for tonight. I hope you had fun. and probably a little bit different of a start than you were probably thinking for the campaign, but I hope you enjoyed yourselves.
It was amazing.
Very different, but a lot of fun.
This is awesome.
And there's many more things for you to see next time we play as well. So, yeah, I hope you'll explore a little bit more and see what other things the carnival has to offer. But yeah, thank you very much for coming and playing.